Welcome back to Kathy's Corner. Tonight we're going to make almond gooey butter cake. If you guys have not had gooey butter cake before, you are in for such a treat. This stuff is so darn delicious, but I promise you only need about a piece this big. It is so rich. You're gonna want a cup of coffee or a glass of milk or something to go along with it. But it's a really super simple recipe again. So what we're gonna start with is the crust. And what you need for the crust is 1 cake mix, again, plain yellow cake mix. Remember, I bought these when our local grocery store had their case lot sale. So I got a dozen for like 11 bucks. I think all the boxes ended up being like 90 cents or something. So we're always on the lookout for stuff like that. With a family our size, whenever there's a case lot sale, we do whatever we possibly can to get whatever we can and stock up with as much of the kind of stuff that we will use. And cake mix is one of them. It's great to just have on hand, you know, for when company comes over unannounced or on short notice, you can make something. So let me introduce my daughter and son. This is Abby and this is Joel. They're going to kind of help me out a little bit. Abby, would you dump the cake mix into the bowl? The great thing about this is you can make the cake and the filling in the exact same bowl. You don't have to wash anything. It's so super simple. You need a 9 by 13 pan. You can use glass or metal for this particular recipe, and you do not want it greased. There's enough butter and whatnot in there. I have already melted 1 stick of butter to go in here. So that's 8 tablespoons, excuse me. Dump right in there. 1 large egg, we've already cracked that. We did that beforehand so there'd be no shells inside of there. And the recipe calls for slivered almonds, which I am skipping out. Again, we have children that don't love nuts. You can add those or whatever. It's fabulous without them. So you take your hand mixer or your mixer and you mix for 2 minutes.
Can I do it?
Abby, will you hold that? Joel, can you hold the bowl? And you'll help me with the filling, okay? Make sure the bowl doesn't fall off there. So this makes a nice cookie-like crumb base. Actually, more like a cake base. Well, you know what? You're going to follow this and help me with this, and Joel will help with the filling, okay? You hold on to that, and I'm going to scrape down the sides. It's late at our house tonight, but everybody seems to be filled with excitement and coming up and down the stairs. You can hear probably the baby in the background. He's right next to me, but as long as he can see me, he's fine and happy. So please keep that down in there and get all that mixed up. Keep it straight down like that. Just like with those bar cookies that we've made, it makes a nice crust. It's just amazing with this cake mix how easy this is. Okay, Abby, I'm going to shut that off. Give it a little whirl. No, you may not have a stick because we're going to reuse this. See how that's just sticks right together. So we just pop that right into the pan. And we just spread that out. Remember, your fingers are your very best tool in the kitchen as long as they're clean, and we did all wash our hands before we started this. We always wash our hands, but your hands really are your best tool to stick this down and pat it around. Make a nice even layer of crust on the bottom. And now, Abby, while I am doing this, I would like you to open 1 bar. It's 1 bar of cream cheese that has been sitting out at room temperature, so that is an 8-ounce bar. So open that and put that in there. And I'm quickly going to melt 1 more stick of butter, so another 8 tablespoons of butter. Again, if you have a Sam's or a Costco, you are going to want to buy this kind of stuff there. Right now, in our local Costco, you can buy a pound of butter for $7 and I think 15 cents for the uncut sticks. I don't care if I have to cut it. For that price, it's fabulous. If you buy it even at Walmart, I think it's $2.99 to $3.99 for 4 sticks. So it's a great deal at Costco. And we are not brand favors. There's a few things that we will buy, only one particular brand, but we're more cost savers, cost conscientious. So mostly what we will get is a good deal. Like the powdered sugar, buy it at Costco. Huge bag. This one is 4 pounds. Bought this before Christmas and a steal of a deal. I can't remember what the price was, but a steal for sure. So this is going to be 1 package of cream cheese, 2 large eggs. Joel, can you dump the eggs in there for me, sir?
Is that a sir?
He is a sir. And then we take 1 teaspoon of almond extract, and this is where you can get creative. Whatever flavor you really like, you can add a teaspoon, even 2. I really like almond, so I'm actually going to add 2 teaspoons to our mixture tonight. Just give it a little extra flavor. I'm not sure my husband will be thrilled with that. This is not his favorite flavor, so I will have to make him something else. So we've got the cream cheese, 2 large eggs, a teaspoon of pure almond, actually 2 teaspoons, but it calls for 1. And we're going to put in butter and powdered sugar. How easy is that? And this calls for 3 3/4 cups confectioner sugar. Can you pour the butter in for me, Joel? Good job, Abby. Why don't you throw that in the trash and wipe those hands off, okay? Go wash them.
So that makes it up and then you have to
But you can grab the handle. Why don't you grab the handle on it, honey bunny? See the handle? All right.
It's in the cup.
Okay.
Can you get it out, Mama?
I'm not sure
Be
what
careful,
you...
it's pretty hot, Joel.
Okay.
Can I
Hold on.
smooth in it?
Yeah, we're actually kind of making a mess here. Mom's just dumping in. I'm kind of just fudging a little bit on it. It's not that, does not have to be 100% accurate on this particular recipe. Baking, usually you do need to be 100% accurate. We're now on cup number 3. Sometimes I'm amazed that I can remember to count to 3 with so many hands in the kitchen. And 3/4 of a cup. Making a mess. Okay, and now we're just going to blend that. Okay. Hold on. And you can use the same. Wait, we don't want to mess. You want to put it down in there a little bit so that we don't have powdered sugar flying everywhere.
1, 2, 1.
Yep, about 3. Joel, can you?
Can I do it?
Joel needs to help too. Joel, hold the bowl. And we're going to mix that for just a couple of minutes, and I'm going to finish this crust real quick.
Mom, can you still scrape the sides?
I will get that for you in just a sec. Let me finish this crust. Next time we're going to make another super simple cookie bar that you can make into basically any variety you want. It's going to use another cake mix, and it's going to use, I think we'll probably do chocolate chips or butterscotch chips, but you can use any kind of chips you want and mix it with any kind of nuts you want. So you could literally probably make 20 to 25 different kinds of bars, just mixing up the kinds of chips that you toss into it and the nut variety in it. And you probably could actually add just a touch of flavoring into the crusts of those cookie bars too and really change it up a whole lot. So there's a ton. Once you know the basic recipe for this bar mix that we're going to make next time, you can make hundreds of desserts, I think. All right, so this is getting nice, and let's just show a little bit. See how creamy that is? Keep mixing it just a little bit more. There's a few little tiny lumps.
Here, can you let go?
And we just scrape down the sides. Okay, that looks good. Can you shut that off, please, dear? All right, so this is what the filling looks like. Just kind of looks like cake batter, basically. So I'm just going to scrape that out and pour that over our crust. And it looks like we're coming to a real good stopping point because you can hear the baby fussing in the background just a little bit. He has not been feeling well. I don't know. I think the flu stuff has been going around again. And I think somewhere, probably church. Unfortunately, we seem to catch a lot of bugs at church. But I think that's where he must have gotten some from this last week. So you just spread this out on top of there, and it's going to turn this nice golden, fabulous color. So we're going to put it into the oven, and we're going to bake until it's well browned, but it still jiggles just a little bit, which is going to be about 45 minutes. And then we want to remove it and let it cool for 30 minutes before we cut the bars. So we're going to bake this. Again, remember, you're going to have to test a time or two in your own oven. I have never tested the temperature of my oven, but mine tends to take, because of where we're at and the altitude, probably 2 to 3 minutes more than most recipes call for. So you'll have to test your own oven out and figure out that time for you. But all right, we're going to put that back in and we'll show you what they look like when they're done. See you later.
All right, so welcome back to Kathy's Corner. Obviously, I'm not Kathy, I'm TJ, her oldest son, and I'm here to just show you guys what the gooey butter cake turned out to be. So it looks like this. We're going to cut out a piece for you guys real quick just so you can see what it turns out to be like. Just cut out a decent sized piece here. And like the description says, it's very gooey, so sometimes it can be difficult to remove. But once you get it out, it comes out nice and easy, just like that. And there you have it, gooey butter cake. Thanks for watching Kat's Corner. This is the gooey butter cake.